From the press box atop Dolphin Soccer Park on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet presents NCAA Division II men's soccer coverage live on the ECC network. Today's matchup features the Firebirds of the University of the District of Columbia taking on the College of Staten Island Dolphins. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Joe Foreman once again bringing you all the action live during today's game, and in just a few moments, the starting lineups are going to be introduced out on the pitch. Unfortunately, I only have the starting lineup for the Firebirds in front of me right now, so I will bring you that starting lineup in numerical order. Number 1, Javier Abadia. Number 3, Eduardo Begay. Number 6, Jake Bedforth. Number 7, Vitor Gomes. Number 9, Ignacio Paraset. Number 11, Michelle Egbame. Number 12, Samuel Nicodilodi. Number 13, Yanni Kiotsolu. Number 19, Imran Achahi. Number 20, Giovanni Aparicio Orellana. And number 22, Thomas Cecil. For the College of Staten Island starters in numerical order, in goal will be 0. Bugari Sissoko, the rest of the Dolphins in numerical order. Number 5, Daniel Angulo. Number 6, Aiden Sawcheck. Number 7, Milton Gonzalez. Number 8, Brian Kerelu. Number 9, Samuel Gonzaga. Number 10, Shane Siegel. Number 13, Brandon Figueroa. Number 17, Leandro Angulo. Number 23, Bryant Navarro. Number 25, Jamali Peterson. For the College of Staten Island men's soccer team, they come in with a record of 1-5. This conference matchup against the Firebirds will be their third conference matchup of the season. Thus far, they are 0-2 in conference play, suffering a 2-0 defeat at the hands of Mercy College and a 1-0 defeat at the hands of Queens College this past Saturday. For the Firebirds, they come in 3-4 on the season, but a perfect 2-0 in conference play. They already have victories over St. Thomas Aquinas College and Damon College. They defeated the Spartans by a score of 4-1 and defeated Damon by a score of 1-0. I did mention the 3-4 record for the Firebirds. All 3 victories coming in their last 3 matches. So UDC coming into Dolphin Soccer Park, riding a 3-game winning streak. For the College of Staten Island, they hope to avoid beginning what could become a losing streak. They dropped their last match following a win over Bloomfield on September 22nd. Starters currently being introduced out on the pitch as we await the start of this match between the Dolphins and the Firebirds. Dolphins 1-5 coming in, Firebirds 3-4. And fortunately for me, the Dolphins wearing their all-blue uniforms this afternoon, making it much easier for me to read the numbers on the fronts and the back of the uniforms throughout the match. For the Firebirds, their kits solid black with red numbers bordered by yellow trim, alternating red and yellow stripes coming down from the neckline across the front of their kits. Very unique pattern on the front of those Firebird uniforms.
Our coaches and our spectators. We request your cooperation.
Dolphins will huddle up with their coaching staff in front of the CSI bench. That is what you see on your screen right now. The Firebirds huddled to the left of midfield.
14 representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition.
In case you missed it, this match is part of a men's and women's soccer doubleheader. Women's soccer up first in the early game, also participating in a conference matchup with the Lincoln University Lions. The Dolphins winning that match by a score of 2-0. Certainly could have made that margin of victory much larger. Several shot opportunities in the second half that were just wide or just high, failing to extend the College of Staten Island lead in that match. But for the Dolphins, that victory snaps a 5-game losing skid. They improved to 2-7. The men looking to improve to 2-5 on the season. Their lone victory coming against Bloomfield this past Wednesday, 1 week ago today. A 2-1 victory in double overtime, a very entertaining game. And for the first time this season on Wednesday, men's soccer sending their supporters home happy. We'll hope to do so against a very tough UDC team here this afternoon. A pair of quality victories in conference against St. Thomas Aquinas and Damon for the Firebirds. And they look to make it 3-0 against conference opponents this afternoon. The College of Staten Island hoping to deny them a perfect conference record. As Samuel Gonzaga lines up over the ball at midfield, and the Dolphins will possess it first. CSI with it, moving the ball toward their back line to get things started here in the second half of today's NCAA Division II soccer doubleheader, exclusively on the ECC network. Milton Gonzalez sends that one out toward midfield. Looked like Jamali Peterson may have gotten ahead on it as Gonzaga was challenged there by Kyotsukolu. And possession belongs to UDC for just a moment. But it will be a Dolphins throw-in after that ball traveled over the near sideline. A tough test for this Dolphins team here this afternoon, and been saying that time and time again this season. As with the move to Division II, they are facing the toughest competition this program has ever faced. But we saw them pick up their first Division II victory over a Division II opponent back in 2019 against Felician, a team that they will see again this year on October 13th. Dolphins playing a full East Coast Conference schedule block for the first time this year as well, hoping to pick up their first victory in conference play here today as the Firebirds move in, cross toward the middle of the box, and it's fired wide. That was Ignacio Periset who fired that one wide. A good cross into the box by Michelle Egbame. That one sent out toward midfield and headed back toward the Dolphin zone by UDC. That ball intended for Periset, but he ultimately winds up with possession as the Firebirds work it along the far sideline. This is Gomes, potentially looking to cross. He's challenged by two Dolphins and very nonchalantly creating space for himself. Getting a foot on that was a Firebird in front. And it is sent wide. I believe that was Egbame again. So Michelle Egbame, a couple of nice plays early. First on the cross and then on that shot. It will be the first corner kick of the game to be taken by District of Columbia. Players gathered around the top of the box. That corner kick's taken short. Just inside the box, cross in front, sent away by Gonzalez. Here comes Navarro. Navarro avoids a pair of challenges, but it's taken away by Kyotsukolu. And now the Firebirds looking to move forward on the attack once again. Play along the far sideline is halted by a Dolphins challenge. That was Kerelu sending it over the touchline for a Firebirds throw-in. This game with a frantic pace to it early. Attacking play favoring the Firebirds through the first 3.5 minutes. A foul was called, and the free kick will be taken by Dolphins goalkeeper Bugari Sissoko. Sissoko sends one out beyond the midfield circle. Getting a body on it was a Firebird. And it rolls to their keeper. That's Javier Abadia in goal. Pass on the heel kick there by Periset, but it's a bit too long for Egbame. That's Sarchek for Peterson, who is dispossessed, but it's sent over the touchline. Dolphins throw-in. Peterson giving chase down toward the box. He shielded off the ball nicely, but Firebirds are forced to concede another throw. Sarchek will be the thrower. He sends one into the box for Gonzaga. Gonzaga finding Figueroa. His shot is saved. His second attempt is blocked. Siegel on the bicycle kick, and that one is saved as well. What an early chance for this Dolphins team. The first few minutes belonging to the Firebirds, but on that last attacking sequence, it was the Dolphins with the best chance in the early goings of this match, as it was Brandon Figueroa who put a shot on goal and then off of the rebound had his second attempt blocked. What a start to this match here at Dolphin Soccer Park. Free kick awarded to the Firebirds, as both teams will get a chance to cool down just a bit. Great ball to set up Figueroa as well. Going to pull up the video feed on my laptop as well so I can follow the action with a bit of a delay, as that one is sent into the middle of the box. Getting a foot on it for a moment was Begay, but Sissoko tracks it down. That one sent up the pitch by Gonzalez, headed by Bedforth up towards Akai. Here come the Firebirds moving in. Dolphins with a couple of unsuccessful challenges, but Leandro Angulo, who has been rock solid for the Dolphins in the midfield and in the back defensively, is there to clear it away. Off of the throw-in, UDC possesses, but they will throw in again after Peterson was able to deflect that ball. Firebirds will send this one all the way back to their keeper, as Abadia sends one out past midfield. This is Angulo, and Angulo is dispossessed. This could be trouble for the Dolphins. Here comes UDC, and the shot by Paraset is saved by Sissoko. Both teams racking up the shots as well early on. Shots officially 2-2 right now. But the Firebirds with a lot of time spent in the Dolphin zone, and CSI with undoubtedly the best chance of the game despite that fact. As there's a turnover just beyond midfield. That's over the head of Angulo, who tried to knock it down, and here come the Firebirds into the attacking third once again. They're moving in towards the box. It wound up with Cecil. His ball up ahead now allows his teammate to send one wide, and the number is simply impossible to read on the front of these UDC kits. So I couldn't make out who that was with possession. But I believe that was Imran Achayi who was working it into the box, and it was Achayi. So Achayi will take the corner kick. And his corner sent toward the middle of the box, and I think it was Angulo who got ahead on it, and it rolls over the touchline once again down into the corner, and we will have another UDC corner kick. No shortage of action early on in this match between the Dolphins and the Firebirds. They've shown no signs of slowing down, especially here off of a corner kick, as the corner is taken up toward the corner of the box. Coming down to meet it was Bedforth, but the Dolphins were ready, as that's headed toward the middle of the box, and Sissoko fully extends to pull it down, and if he failed to reel that one in, Paraset was right there waiting. Angulo sends one across midfield. Gonzaga is shoved straight down, and there's no doubt about that call. Foul goes against the Firebirds, and it will be a Dolphins free kick. Angulo to take the free kick. 35-30 on the clock. early in this first half as Angulo's ball for Kerelu is right on target. He crosses it in. Navarro looked to head it. He could not. It's cleared by UDC. Winds up back with Shane Siegel. His shot is blocked. He wanted a handball, doesn't get it. Looking for Navarro on that chip. It's knocked down. Now it's up in the air yet again, over the head of Sawchek, onto the foot of Igbame. And the Dolphins ultimately come away with possession. Whistle blows, foul against Igbame and the Firebirds. Dolphins free kick will be taken by Figueroa. Brandon Figueroa with a pair of shots right in front. One saved. The second off of the rebound was blocked. He'll look to get the attack going once again with this free kick. A good ball toward the top of the box, redirected by Gonzaga. Siegel nearly got there, but he was beat to the spot, and the ball wound up back on the foot of Gonzaga, who sent it into orbit. Don't see anybody going after that soccer ball either. It'll be a goal kick for the Firebirds. Abadia takes the goal kick. A long kick well beyond midfield. Gonzalez got a foot on it. Now Angulo gets ahead on it. Bedford was there to head it back toward the Dolphin zone as the two teams continue to fight for it in the midfield. Off the back heel, coming away with it was Achayi.
Now in for DC, number 8, Pierre Lanoir.
Pierre Lanoir checks in for UDC. Didn't see who came off. I think it's Thomas Cecil who has a bloody nose on the sideline right now. Here come the Dolphins, and Gonzaga was looking for Navarro before committing the foul after his pass was intercepted. Right now, Thomas Cecil is standing over at the trainer's tent trying to stop a nosebleed, which is why Pierre Lanoir makes an early appearance in this match. Getting ahead on that ball was Paraset, but it redirects right to Sissoko. Very entertaining start to this match between the Dolphins and Firebirds. No shortage of action early on. Both teams with good scoring chances as Siegel is shouldered off the ball and he hits the turf. No whistle. Here comes Gonzalez for Peterson. And that one is sent all the way back across midfield, but Angulo has it. Navarro got a foot on that ball from Angulo, but couldn't corral it. And there's a good long ball up ahead. Whistle blows. Flag is up. Offsides is the call. It'll be a Dolphins free kick. That long ball was right on target. Unfortunately, the player making the run was a bit too quick on that run and was offsides. Once again, I can't see the uniform number on the front of the kit from up here. Hopefully as the match progresses, I won't need it, as that was Vitor Gomes making that run along the far sideline. This is Gonzaga, who chips it up to Siegel. Siegel trying to keep it in play, and the lines judge getting a front row look at the action as both players came barreling in towards him. Throw in for the Firebirds. That one off the head of Angulo. Gonzalez sends it up in the air, but it's sent right back to the Dolphins' back line. Igbame giving chase alongside Sawchek, and I think Dennis Cotticelli nearly got taken out by that clearance, assuming he didn't get hit by the ball. Sawchek had no choice but to clear that one out of danger, or Sissoko, I should say. And Sissoko is there on that crossing attempt, or at least what appeared to be a cross attempt. Sissoko's been busy early. He has a save, a pair of saves for Javier Abadia. I'm not sure if that's correct. I believe the second shot was blocked. But either way, both keepers have registered an early save in the first 15 minutes as the clock winds inside of 30 to play in half number 1. Headed up in the air by Gonzalez for Figueroa. Chipped by Keralou. Angulo was there waiting. Gonzaga comes down with it, but it's sent over the near sideline. Throw in to be taken by Bedford. And that deflects off of Periset for a CSI throw-in. Sawchek will throw now. Gonzaga knocks it down, but it goes right to Achayi. Now Kyotsulu tries to send it up to his forwards, but the Dolphins were all over that pass attempt. They intercept. Siegel for Gonzaga. He was shoved down again. That one right in front of the official. As the Firebirds now move forward on the attack, and that ball for Agbame too long. He will let it roll. And it will be a Dolphins throw-in deep in the corner. That is not what CSI was looking for. Firebirds will press a bit as Navarro avoids the challenge, able to keep his footing. And his pass attempt was knocked away, but throw-in belongs to CSI. Sawchek throws, and then after receiving it right back, he launches it out past midfield, high up in the air. The two teams now fighting for it in the midfield. And that one played back to his defenders by Achayi. Ball winds up right along the midfield stripe once again, and Vitor Gomes just took that ball right to the side of the face. His own teammate sent it off of him from point-blank range. And going to check on him will be Giovanni Aparicio Orellana. And I thought Gomes was going to continue and shake it off and just keep on going, and that would have been some feat as he took that shot from point-blank range, and the head official will call for a substitution. Gomes walking off appears okay, but they'll have to check on him with the potential for a head injury. And that's not something they'll be taking any chances with. So checking in place of Gomes will be Ivan Meza-Baez. So Meza-Baez gets his first action. And it looks like they're going to check Gomes for a bloody nose as well. Goal kick upcoming for Staten Island. Clock was stopped at 27:14. Peterson challenging aggressively, and he will absolutely get whistled for that challenge.
Now in for DC, number 16, Ivan Meza-Baez.
Free kick will be taken by the Firebirds goalkeeper, Abadia. He sends it long toward the top of the box. It's headed down by Sawchek. Waiting for it was Kyotsulu. Off of the throw-in, Firebirds had possession for a moment, but the Dolphins take it right back, and here comes CSI. Siegel for Gonzaga. Gonzaga moving in. He is beat to the ball, and it will be a goal kick. Good defensive play there by UDC as Gonzaga was chased down from behind, beaten to the spot, and then the ball was sent off of the Dolphins forward and out of play. Credit to Samuel Nicolotti on that play, keeping it away from Gonzaga and earning his team the goal kick. Two teams will battle in the midfield off of the goal kick. And it will be the Firebirds winning the throw-in. Horn sounds, and it looks like Gomes is going to check back in, and he will get the okay to take the pitch. Gomes on, and his replacement, Meza Baez, comes off.
Now in for DC.
So a short stint for Meza Baez. His team will throw, and the Dolphins come down with it along the near sideline. Gonzaga and Bouguet met in midair, and now several players surrounding the ball along that far sideline. Nice recovery there by Keralou, who tripped over the ball, immediately gained his footing, and help the Dolphins continue forward with that attack. We'll see if they can sustain it here. Siegel to Keralou. Battle along the far sideline once again for possession, and now Figueroa comes away with it. Figueroa, good ball towards Siegel, and the flag went up for offside. So Siegel had some room to work with off of that ball from Figueroa, but he was immediately ruled offsides, and he wasn't first to that ball regardless. Still a good attempt by the Dolphins, who have held their own so far through the first 21 minutes plus. They had to withstand an early flurry from the Firebirds in the first few minutes, but things have really settled down since. The Dolphins still possess the best chance of the game. Two, in fact, that belong to Brandon Figueroa. And it will be a CSI goal kick here. Sissoko to Gonzalez. Gonzalez for Angulo over to Sarchek. He couldn't keep it in play. Throw in for UDC. And once again, CSI wins possession shortly after the throw-in. Here comes Peterson. He keeps it in. Jamali moving forward with speed, and he is dispossessed. As Peterson trips up Egbame, who had some words for Peterson. The official telling Peterson not to forget the game above the feet as he sent Egbame stumbling forward. Egbame had something to say about it as well after the play. And Abadia sent one all the way into the box. And Sissoko is there. That's some leg on the Firebirds keeper. He has sent the ball a long way several times already in the first 23 minutes of this match. Here comes Keralou. That's Siegel. Siegel looking to cross, running out of space, gets the cross off, and it's headed away by UDC. Peterson was there, but at too much of a disadvantage in the height department to get ahead on it. We've seen the Dolphins bring their defenders forward on corner kicks to try and get some more header opportunities. Nicholas Kashenko, who's not in the lineup to start today's game, registered a goal in CSI's last match against Bloomfield. That one's headed away by the Dolphins. Throw in for the Firebirds. I mentioned it before, a convincing win for UDC over St. Thomas Aquinas. And that certainly had to raise some eyebrows on this Dolphins club. CSI has seen the Spartans in the past, as that one is sent well wide off the foot of Figueroa. Goal kick upcoming for UDC, but taking a look back at the 2019 season, the Dolphins visited St. Thomas Aquinas early in their 2019 campaign and played the Spartans to a tie. 1 goal per side in that match. As Angulo got ahead on that goal kick, whistle blows, another foul called against the Dolphins. Whistles piling up early on in this match as we wind down inside of 20 minutes to play in the first half. Both teams have had their chances, but the scoring opportunities have been fewer and further between over the last 15 minutes or so. First 10 minutes saw this game open with a frantic pace, as that free kick is cleared away off the head of Shane Siegel, but sent right back into the box by UDC. And we'll see if we have a foul. We do, as Igbame and Sissoko meeting at the ball. And I didn't see where Igbame contacted the Dolphins goalkeeper, but Sissoko went down without the ball. And that always puts you in a dangerous spot defensively. Fortunately, the Dolphins, the beneficiaries of the whistle, as that's headed toward the far sideline. Carolou able to come down with it. This is Siegel for Carolou, back to Angulo. Angulo toward Peterson and cleared away by the Firebirds. Angulo with an unsuccessful challenge of Achayi. Achayi continues to move forward, and Figueroa with a very aggressive tackle. He's baffled as to the call, but that appeared to be the right call from up here. Figueroa just came charging in from behind the play and took out Achayi. And that looked like a shot attempt off the foot of Kietsikolu, and it's high and wide. Sissoko never had to move. Goal kick for the Dolphins with 17:45 to play in the first half. And Sissoko will call over Leandro Angulo to tie his cleat. And now that his footwear is taken care of, Sissoko is ready. Can't imagine it would have been easy to send a free kick a long way with a loose cleat, as that's headed out beyond midfield. Angulo looking for Peterson. He got a foot on it and tried to turn, but could not. Firebirds with short, quick passes up around midfield. That was Lanoir with it. And Gonzaga comes charging in and commits the foul from behind. Down went Kietsikolu. Figueroa is called for the handball, and that was the right call. Free kick for UDC. We just saw a shot attempt from this area, perhaps even a few strides further back. This time, it's Vitor Gomes lined up over the ball. See what he can do with this free kick chance. His team assembled to the right of the semicircle at the top of the box, and it's a good thing that ball didn't come down on a windshield, or we would have had another cracked windshield on our hands here at Dolphin Soccer Park. And for those watching who are looking to attend a game, certainly do not park with your windshield facing the field of play. Much safer to park up against the woods, as it's rare a soccer ball travels that far. Another free kick, well high and or well wide from the Firebirds, allows the Dolphins a chance to attack, and that ball from Siegel finds the keeper, Abadia. Siegel did have company on the attack. A couple of Dolphins were making runs, but that pass off target as that's sent back toward Gonzalez. He will look to clear and does. It's out beyond midfield, and we have another whistle in the midfield. And once again, it is against Gonzaga of CSI. He's been whistled a couple of times over the last few minutes. That's Bedford navigating through a pair of Dolphins, but couldn't beat a third. As Peterson trying to win it back, could not. Gomes upended by Angulo. He is down. And the official paying him no mind as the Firebirds move forward on the attack. That one was chipped by Egbame, and he had an attacker up there with him. That was Periset in the middle as Egbame tried to chip the ball in his direction to get him a shot attempt. Corner kick upcoming for UDC as we approach 14 minutes to go in the first half. Here comes the corner kick toward the near post, headed by Angulo, and then cleared on a bicycle kick by Daniel Angulo. Misplay by the Firebirds, and here come the Dolphins. The Dolphins have numbers if they hurry. Kerelu for Siegel. That slows CSI down just a bit, and the Firebirds look to be back in position defensively. They are. And a missed opportunity there for CSI as Siegel goes down. Here comes UDC as Figueroa is going to be very lucky not to get a card, and he doesn't even look to argue as first he tugged the jersey and then an aggressive tackle taking out the attacking player. I think that was La Noire looking to move forward out beyond the midfield stripe for UDC, and Figueroa needs to be careful. He could have been carded before on his previous tackle attempt and was immediately carded on that one. Sissoko fields that one cleanly out of the air. He will punt out beyond midfield. Gonzaga and Bugay were waiting, and it winds up with Kerelu. Here comes Kerelu, making a move down toward the corner. He finds Daniel Angulo, whose cross is blocked. Bryant Navarro was there. Now Peterson with it, working against a pair of markers, but he earns CSI the corner kick. Looks like Daniel Angulo will take it. And for the Dolphins, that will officially be their first corner kick of the match. Corner kicks 4-1 in favor of UDC. Angulo is ready. His corner kick sent toward the middle of the box and headed high by Samuel Gonzaga. Dolphins with a quality chance as Gonzaga found open space right in the middle. He got ahead on it and sent it right down the middle, but high. Goal kick for the Firebirds. Dolphins showing they clearly belong out there in this matchup against a team that had outscored ECC opponents 5-1 in their first 2 conference matches. That ball sent out to midfield. Getting a foot on it was Kiyotsukolu. It now winds up on the far sideline. Egbame working against Karalu, and Egbame able to get behind Karalu for a moment. And look at this dribbling by Egbame. As he was playing with the advantage, a foul was called right at the top of the attacking third. It will be a free kick for the Firebirds, as we are just inside of 11 minutes to play in the first half. Still looking for our first goal in this match. A very entertaining match so far. This game has had a very steady pace to it, much more so in the opening minutes. But it's only slowed down marginally as that's sent toward the top of the box, headed up in the air. Daniel Angulo tries to find one of his teammates along the near sideline. Peterson was the only one there, but he couldn't get to it. As Bedford will throw, it's headed up by Sawchek. Peterson challenged by Achahi, and Peterson got rid of it. And the Dolphins will keep possession. Throw by Sawchek. And Navarro was initially dispossessed along the near sideline. He needs someone to tie his cleat as he's running around out there with the shoelaces undone on the left foot. Long throw-in is sent right into the bleachers off the deflection by UDC, and the Dolphins are slowly moving up the pitch here. Whistle blows, clock is stopped. Yellow card has been issued. And I'm trying to figure out if that was against Samuel Nicolodi or Samuel Gonzaga. A pair of Samuels converging on the ball. We're still waiting for the official ruling. It had to be Gonzaga because it's a free kick for UDC. So Samuel Gonzaga issued the yellow card. He's been the victim of a couple of hard challenges so far, and now the Firebirds turning that free kick into a chance immediately. Had that shot blocked. Not sure if that's a corner or a throw-in alongside the corner flag. We'll see. As checking in for UDC will be Nicholas Reyes
Now in for DC, number
and
27.
Kanek Elvir.
Elver, and number 17, Nicholas Reyes.
And it is a corner kick for UDC. Sissoko muffed that catch. And it will be a throw-in for the Firebirds now. And allowing Bedford to take it was Kiyotsukolu. So here's Gomes working through 4 Dolphins, but ultimately losing possession as Peterson looks to turn. And now Jamali plays the ball up to himself and keeps it. Got Siegel along the far sideline. Here comes Siegel. Siegel into the middle of the pitch. That ball toward Peterson. He's chasing it, and it's cleared into the stands again. Those fans in the first few rows behind the Firebirds bench have been treated to a few souvenirs early on. Sawchek will throw. Off the head of Reyes on another clearance. Sawchek will try and throw again. He's looking for somewhere to go with it. sent from the back line of UDC across midfield. Now the two teams fighting for it just outside the midfield circle. Here comes Daniel Angulo winning possession for CSI. Shane Siegel moves in. His shot is blocked. Keralou tracks it down. Keralou splits a pair of markers, gives it up to Figueroa. Now Angulo for Navarro. Navarro back to Angulo. And it's taken away from Angulo, but Navarro challenges and wins it back. And he travels over the touchline. The Dolphins staying with that play. And we have a substitution. Eusebio Macedo checks in for UDC. Trying to get a look at who he replaced. I believe it was Michel Egbame. We just hit 6-minute mark in this first half. Clock winding down inside of 6 minutes, that is. 5:50 to play in half number one. Both teams converging at the midfield stripe. This is Angulo for Siegel, and dangerous moment there as Siegel had a Firebird come down right across his back. Possible to tell who that was from this distance as Leandro Angulo moves out across midfield looking for Peterson and couldn't find him with that pass. It was intercepted. But Daniel Angulo has it back. This is Navarro. Navarro shouldered off the ball. And now UDC takes possession. Sawchek is there to intercept. That ball intended for Gomes. Now Figueroa for Angulo and back to Sawchek. Sawchek takes a shove. And we have another substitution coming on for the Firebirds. Ivan Mezabayez will check in for the second time.
Number 16, Ivan Mesa Baez.
He replaces Vitor Gomes as UDC was able to keep that one in play. That's chipped up in the air by Macedo. It rolls toward the far sideline and is cleared away by the Dolphins. 4:15 to play in this first half. Throw-in by the Firebirds. And several players vying for possession. Leandro Angulo looking to bring an end to this attacking play. And he's able to do just that as he forces the attacker to dribble over the touchline. Goal kick taken by Sissoko out across midfield. I believe that's David Box working along the far sideline. So difficult to tell from over here, but that looks like a 15 on the shorts. Another foul call goes against the Dolphins as the whistle blows. Chai and Nicolodi lined up over the ball. And we'll see which one of them takes this free kick. It looks like Achayi will take it as Nicolodi drifts away into the midfield circle. That free kick toward the far post, and Sissoko is there. Not a bad effort on the free kick, but the Dolphins goalkeeper has been pretty sure-handed in this game so far. Gonzaga for Angulo. Angulo now the challenger as he takes out the corner flag, uproots it from the base in the corner, and snaps the flag in half. The official tosses it off the pitch as John Tardy implores him to put it back together. It looks like the flag post might have snapped in half. Either way, we are without a corner flag along the far sideline on the left side of your screen as that goal kick is taken out across midfield. Another foul call goes against the Dolphins, and it will be another Firebirds free kick from a very similar spot. We just saw UDC attempt a free kick from this position a few moments ago, and they are right back here for another crack at it. Already 12 fouls committed between these two teams in half number one. 7 by the Dolphins, 5 by the Firebirds, as that free kick is sent toward the middle of the box. Not as deep as the last attempt. And Peterson's pass for Navarro is deflected. Dolphins throw. Inside of 1:30 to play in a back and forth first half. This is Gonzalez. Gonzalez looking for somewhere to go with it, sends it long, and that is too long, and into the Firebirds bench. UDC to throw as we approach 1 minute to go in the first half. This is Nicolodi.
Last minute of play.
That ball is long, headed by Gonzaga and knocked down by a Firebird, ultimately cleared by Gonzalez. Potentially the last attacking opportunity of the half here for UDC. Sawcheck finds Figueroa, who passes it with the back heel, and then Angulo sends it straight into the bleachers. I would presume Angulo was trying to clear it. Failed remarkably if that was his intent. Now the Firebirds with one last chance on the attack. But Shane Siegel denies that with an emphatic clearance. Gonzaga is giving chase, but that winds up with the keeper, Abadia. And that should bring the first half to a close, as we have no score at the break between the Dolphins and the Firebirds in an East Coast Conference men's soccer matchup. Exclusive NCAA Division II men's soccer coverage returns here on the ECC Network after our halftime break. And I will stay with you until we find out how long that break will be. It is going to be a 10-minute intermission, so be sure to rejoin us here on CSI Sportsnet in just under 10 minutes. And welcome back to ECC Network coverage of College of Staten Island men's soccer. The Dolphins taking on UDC in an East Coast Conference matchup. The Dolphins looking for their second win of the season. And the Firebirds, who have come in after winning 3 straight games, will look to keep that streak alive and extend it to 4 games, while also remaining perfect in conference play. 0-0 our score at the break, and you can see on your screen the Firebirds lined up over the ball at midfield, ready to kick off the second half. It has been a long day of soccer here at the College of Staten Island. Dolphin Soccer Park playing host to a pair of games this afternoon. First, CSI Dolphins women's soccer picking up a victory in their match to open up the day against Lincoln University by a score of 2-0. Both Dolphins goals coming in the first half of that match, and now the men locked in a scoreless tie with District of Columbia, a team that has already taken down 2 ECC opponents this season. Carolou to throw. And he finds Brendan McGuire, who checks in for the first time, and a foul is called. And that continues the trend of foul calls against Staten Island. We have seen many of those so far here this afternoon, as Bolja Basic heads one into the trainer's tent. And for Nerman, he's also seeing his first action of the match. I think that's Patrick Mashcut getting in for the first time as well, working along the far sideline, and going down there was Vitor Gomes at the top of the box, just as the Firebirds are beginning to threaten on the attack. That's Captain Eduardo Begay, who sends it deep into the Dolphins zone, and it rolls over the touchline. It'll be a throw-in for the Firebirds. That's David Box throwing, and now Gomes looking to escape the near sideline. He could not. Ball off the foot of Peterson, retrieved by the Firebirds, who now work backwards across midfield. They send it to their keeper, Javier Abadia, and he sends one long, headed by Sawchek, and onto the foot of another Firebird. And following that collision, the ball rolling down toward the corner. Milton Gonzalez is there. Sawchek challenging Macedo, and it rolls over the far sideline. Throw in toward the perimeter of the box, retrieved by Paraset. There's a long ball toward the far post. Giving chase was Gomes, and Sissoko punched it away. Now, that was a very interesting play as Sissoko and Gomes converged on the ball. Sissoko punched it while he was right on the edge of the box. And if he punches that ball outside of the box, that obviously is problematic. But as it stands, corner kick for UDC. That's sent toward the middle of goal, and Sissoko is there waiting. He had Gomes looking to connect on the header as well, bearing down as Peterson is challenged near sideline. It's taken away by Kiatsikolu. And it will be Karalu to throw for Staten Island. Very aggressive defense being played by the Firebirds along the sidelines. No hesitation when it comes to clearing it and forcing the Dolphins to throw again. They are trying to keep CSI on the outer thirds of the pitch, whether it be near sideline or far. And they've done a good job keeping the Dolphins out of the middle of the field throughout this match. Daniel Angulo to attempt the corner kick. Angulo's corner toward the middle of the box, headed up in the air by the Firebirds as Bolja Basic looks to chase it down. He got a head on it. Was challenged by Egbame, and Bolja Basic unfazed by the challenge, but the ball rolls over the touchline. Off of the throw-in, the two teams exchange possession in the midfield. Angulo for Navarro. Navarro up to McGuire. Here comes McGuire moving down toward the corner. May look to cross. And he does. And Angulo was moving in along the near post. And that is deflected out of play by the Firebirds for another Dolphins corner. CSI with a strong start to the second half through the first 5 minutes plus. Angulo lines up for the corner kick. He is ready. Will signal his teammates once again. Here it comes. Angulo's corner toward the middle of the box once again, and it's rolling toward the far sideline. Bolja Basic shielding Achayi off the ball. It will be a Dolphins throw. That's Madge cut. Now Sawchek, who's tripped up, and a foul called. .39 minutes on the clock in the second half. Sawchek will give way on the free kick to Bolja Basic. Bolja Basic waiting for his teammates to converge around the top of the box. That one sent toward goal, and Abadia has it. Both teams working in the midfield, and it's cleared away emphatically once again by the Firebirds. Throwing for CSI. Carolou to throw. Whistle blows. And they will move Carolou back. Rightfully so, as that ball traveled into the stands in that general area. And here comes Carolou. Nice move by Carolou there. Splits the defense with that pass. Peterson waving his teammates down toward the box. Left-footed cross just goes by McGuire, but Mashcut is there, and it is cleared by the Firebirds. What a chance there for the Dolphins. They might not be done. Here comes Angulo, and Angulo is forced to dribble it over the touchline, or did he? As it was knocked away from him, and the Dolphins are awarded the corner. What a chance there for CSI as Peterson's cross just got by McGuire, who is positioned right in front. No Firebird between him and the goal. Corner kick to be taken by Angulo once again. The official having a word with Jamali Peterson. Clock is stopped. Now he's saying something to Patrick Mashcut, who receives a yellow card. And this is getting out of control down around goal. That's Mashcut and Bedford, who are jawing at each other, going back and forth. The official telling them to cut it out. They continued to go at it. It appeared as if Mashcut may have shoved Bedford, but he certainly sold it. He took a dive down to the pitch. I mean, that could not have been much greater in terms of showmanship by Bedford. Regardless, both players get a yellow. Now Mashcut is down, and the official may be losing control of this game here. We've been stopped at 37:08 for far too long already. Mashcut needs to be careful. He's still involved and already has a yellow card. They pulled Bedford away and now have another Firebird working against Mashcut as that's sent toward the near post, and Peterson sends it into the netting behind goal as that was well high. I'm not sure if that's frustration showing through on the part of the Firebirds. This game just getting a bit more chippy, as we've seen much of the attacking play to my right so far in the second half. It's been all Dolphins. As that's redirected over the near sideline by Carolou. Angulo in the midst of several Firebirds trying to win possession back and commits the foul. It will be a free kick for UDC just beyond or perhaps just in the midfield circle. They take it quickly. Peterson challenging Achayi right there and seemed intent on taking that ball away and continuing forward. As the Firebirds send it back to their keeper, Abadia, who sends it a long way. And now Igbame moving forward into the attacking third. His shot high and wide. Left-footed shot by Michel Igbame off target. And that may be the first shot of the half for UDC. Here comes Sawchek. Igbame in pursuit. And Sawchek got rid of it. McGuire unable to keep it in. Throw in upcoming for the Firebirds. As Bolja-Basic sends it toward midfield. UDC has it, chipped up in the air. Now Peterson is waiting. And nobody home along the near sideline. Box to throw in. He's looking for somewhere to go with it anyway and finally finds Gomes. Gomes challenged by Boljabasic. That's a good challenge. That was all ball, but Gomes got the worst of it. And Peterson stifling that pass attempt, but couldn't keep the ball in front of him. And now Angulo forced to chase down Achayi, and it's cleared away by the Dolphins. Quick throw in. Gomes seems to be okay after he took a spill on that last challenge by Boljabasic. And if I'm not mistaken, this is a throw-in down in the corner. This throw-in will be right on the flag for the Firebirds. And it's a long throw-in into the box, headed toward goal. It rolled in front. The Dolphins were able to clear it. Carolou has possession of it, looking for Peterson on that pass. And Jamali sends it away and out of play. Box to throw once again. His throw headed by Boljabasic and sent up in the air by Begay. Bodied away by Gonzalez, and it's redirected by Navarro for Angulo. Angulo to Peterson and back to Carolou. Carolou looking for Navarro, and a nice job to get in the passing lane by Kiatsakolu. Throw in by Carolou, upcoming, with 33 minutes to play in the second half. Carolou surveying and throws along the near sideline for Peterson. He's in a double team. Nearly came away with possession, but the pass from UDC intercepted by Angulo. This is Boljabasic for Sawchek. Up to Majcut. Good move there to get around, and Majcut goes down. It was Egbame with the hard challenge, sending Majcut down to the turf. And Boljabasic is lined up over the ball to attempt this free kick. Dolphins convening right at the top of the box. Free kick on its way. It's a shot attempt, and it is well high and well wide. And with that, a substitution will come on for UDC. It will be Diego Mezabayez once again, and he replaces Vitor Gomes. Or at least gets a high five from Vitor Gomes, and coming off the pitch was Jake Bedforth. So Bedforth is off, and Mezabayez is on. Free kick sent out across midfield, headed up in the air by Navarro. Twice, 3 times. UDC to throw in right in front of their bench with 30 minutes and 50 seconds to play. And just a correction regarding jersey numbers and names. As far as I know, it wasn't passed along to us from the bench ahead of the game, but we receive word now that it isn't Jake Bedforth wearing number 6. That's Jonathan Vargas. Normally wears number 21. He is wearing number 6 today, so Vargas wearing 6, not Jake Bedforth, as Patrick Majcut is down, and I didn't see if we got a clock stoppage. We did. We may have a card here. It would go against Diego Mezabayez, and he is shown the card on the challenge. Majcut certainly sold it. I'm not sure he needed to, as that was a hard challenge that sent Majcut soaring through the air and face down onto the pitch. Angulo lined up over the ball to take the free kick. This is the 3rd Dolphins free kick from this general vicinity. And Angulo's free kick into the top of the penalty area and headed away. Here's Bolja Basic for Angulo. Meza Baez giving chase with Angulo working against him. And Angulo could not keep possession for CSI. Meza Baez looking for Egbame up the pitch. And Egbame works straight through Nilton Gonzalez. He sends one into the box. Gomes is waiting off the chest and onto the foot of Imran Achahi for the game's first goal. What an attacking play by the Firebirds. And UDC has taken the 1-0 lead. They couldn't have drawn it up much better than that, but it all started when Michel Egbame worked straight through the Dolphins' defense along the far sideline. Nilton Gonzalez perplexed that a foul was not called, and ultimately, whether that call should have been made or not, it proves a huge non-call, leading to a Firebirds goal for Imran Achahi. Gonzalez is visibly frustrated with the non-call, and of course he will be, given the result. But that looked like a play on from up here. It's difficult to see as that was along the far sideline, and I certainly didn't believe a whistle was imminent following that meeting of players along the far boundary. And what a job on the attack by the Firebirds to register the game's first goal. For Achahi, that is his first goal of the season. And there are going to be 2 assists on that one. One to Gomes, and then another to Egbame. For Gomes, that is assist number 2. And for Egbame, that is assist number 3. So for Gomes, he now has 16 points on the season, 7 goals and 2 assists for the Firebirds senior. For Egbame, he now has 5 points with a goal and 3 assists. And for Achahi, he brings his goal total to 1, as I mentioned, with his first. That number even with his assist total at 1 for a total of 3 points on the season for the freshman. And he's been very active this afternoon. A well-deserved goal for Achahi. And now the Dolphins forced to play from behind for the first time today is another dangerous attacking play for UDC, and it's cleared away. All of a sudden, the Firebirds seem to have the Dolphins on their heels. The frustration began building, it appeared, for UDC after a pair of yellow cards were assessed in goal on the opposite end of the pitch ahead of a Dolphins corner kick. Several players going back and forth with Patrick Mashcut, but now it appears it's the Dolphins falling victim to the frustration as Gonzalez wanted a call, didn't get it, it led to the goal, and now another corner kick upcoming for UDC with a chance to extend their lead to a pair. It also seems the flag in that corner has been resurrected, and the corner kick is toward the far post, headed wide of goal, but I believe offsides was the call. Either that or a foul. Had to be a foul with the official directing the flag toward the Firebird zone, and very quickly the Dolphins have a throw-in just outside the attacking third. This is Mashcut, and he lost his footing. Whistle is blown, and Egbame can't believe it. And I think I have to agree with him on that one. It looked like Mashcut tripped over the ball. Once again, the Dolphins with a free kick in the general area of that far sideline, right on the perimeter of the attacking third. Bolja Basic to take it again. And it's headed away at the top of the box. And the Dolphins need to get those free kicks a bit deeper into the penalty area. They've been sending it right to the top of the box, where several Firebirds have been there waiting. There's a ball toward Angulo, and wisely Javier Abadia comes out of goal and scoops that one up. If he doesn't, it's trouble. And he got there just in time as well. Not much space for him to work with at the top of the box either, as he sends this one across midfield. Mash cut for Bulja Basic up to Angulo. Angulo moving forward into the attacking third. He finds McGuire. McGuire redirects to Mash cut. Mash cut moves toward the middle of the pitch. He shoots. It's blocked and cleared by the Firebirds. Good chance there for Mash cut and the Dolphins, and now a chance might be brewing for UDC. Gomes is down again. He's been on the pitch several times in this game. Here comes Bulja Basic. He just got that one by Egbame. Now Mash cut crosses the midfield stripe and finds Sawcheck. Sawcheck to McGuire. McGuire working against a pair of markers, and Sawcheck let it roll back to Mash cut, who's working against Egbame. Mash cut moving toward the middle of the pitch, finds Bulja Basic. Gonzalez works it over to Angulo. Angulo crosses midfield, sends it up toward Peterson. Gomes was there. Angulo gets ahead on it. Now Daniel Angulo gets ahead on it. McGuire got ahead on it and just missed redirecting it to Jamali Peterson, who was there. Bulja Basic goes down, wanted a foul call and won't get it. Here comes Angulo. Angulo for Peterson, and a good defensive play there to get ahead on that ball in the back by Aparicio Orellana. Here's Peterson. Peterson. And his ball is blocked and sent over the touchline as he was working against Kiautsikolu and attempted a cross. 24 minutes to play in the second half. 1-0 our score. Dolphins looking for the equalizer. They hope this corner kick can help them get it. Daniel Angulo to take it once again. Angulo, the Dolphins' captain. And he sends one beyond the far post. McGuire is there, has some room. He will move toward the middle of the pitch and fire one on goal. Off the rebound, giving chase was Gonzalez. And just in time, Abadia able to cover. That looked like it was going to be an easy save off the foot of McGuire. But Abadia did not handle the rebound cleanly at first. Fortunately for UDC, he pulled it in, and now Gomes looking to get by Angulo, but Leandro Angulo continues to be phenomenal for the Dolphins defensively. He was able to shut Gomes down, and now the Dolphins look to counter. Here comes Daniel Angulo with some speed, and he is met and stonewalled by Samuel Nicolodi. Whistle blows, foul will go against the Dolphins. Nicolodi goes down and is holding his left foot. Waiting to check in is Robert Giroux, along with Ivan Mezabayez. So both Ivan and Diego Mezabayez, members of this UDC roster. Not sure I've made that distinguishment yet. And the lines judge emphatically telling Imran Achahi not to leave the field, and he was asking him to relax, and didn't seem the Firebirds bench had any problem with it. As the horn will sound, and now Achahi will come off. Ivan Mezabayez and Robert Giroux on, and also coming off is Diego Mezabayez. So Ivan is on and Diego is off. The two Mezabayez brothers, and I would presume that that is the case. If not, a striking coincidence as that shot is blocked by CSI. And they will look to move it across midfield. They do. But it winds up with the Firebirds. And barely able to keep it in was Aparicio Orellana. That was awfully close, as Peterson is called for the foul. Free kick upcoming for UDC to be taken by Abadia. Abadia's kick is sent toward the box, headed by Angulo out toward midfield, where Majcut is waiting for it. Possession changing hands quickly, or should I say changing feet quickly, as Egbame moves into the box. He got hit in the face. Looks a bit shaken up. We'll see if he recovers once the ball comes his way again, as Egbame will take a knee in the box. He is down. Clock is stopped at 20:43, and it's very often we see players take a shot, whether they go down or get hit at any point in a game, and spring right back up as soon as the situation calls for it, but that doesn't appear as if it's going to be the case with Egbame here. He was hit in the face. He jogs back out toward midfield. Appears okay, and the action resumes with 20 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. Horn sounds, and two more substitutions coming on for UDC. For the second time, Pierre Lanoir checks on.
Pierre Lanoir and number 14, Liam Thompson.
And Liam Thompson will join him on the pitch. Coming off, Eusebio Macedo. And I would think at least one more Firebird, as we're having a discussion going on with the head official, and I must have missed the first Firebird that came off, as this one sent toward the top of the box. Angulo is there waiting, and Keralou cleans it up. Ball now in the midfield circle. And Peterson will nearly intercept with momentum toward the Firebirds' goal. Dangerous play there, as that one is sent into the UDC bench. Horn sounds again, and Stephen Branco will come on for Jamali Peterson.
Now in for your CSI Dolphins, number 14, Stephen Branco.
Branco in, Peterson out, and that ball out of play over the near sideline. Bolja Basic gets a foot on it, but waiting is Thompson. Thompson being challenged by Angulo, and Angulo wins possession. Angulo toward Majcut. That ball just long for Majcut, but CSI will throw in. Sawcheck will throw for Staten Island. 18:35 to go in this second half. Dolphins still in search of the equalizing goal. Bolja Basic lined up over the ball. We're waiting. This Dolphins free kick taken short for Sawcheck, back to Bolja Basic. And that pass to Sawcheck off target. Here comes Gomes. One man to beat. It's Angulo. And Leandro gets there and dispossesses Gomes as the last line of defense. It will be a corner kick for UDC. Corner kick sent toward the near post, headed away by Bolja Basic, and it's rolling out toward midfield, where Kietsikolu is waiting for it. And now it's sent back into the middle of the box. Paraset nearly got a head on it. Offsides is the call. Dolphins now working toward midfield. Leandro Angulo directing traffic. Sends one long for Karalu, and a bit too long.
Now in for DC, number 27, Kenneth Elver.
Goal kick upcoming for UDC as we hit 16 minutes to play in half number 2. Time running out on the Dolphins as the Firebirds look to remain perfect in ECC play. And handball is the call. Free kick once again for the Firebirds. Long ball on the free kick sent toward the near sideline at the top of the attacking third for UDC. This is Kietsikolu. Good ball toward the middle of the box, and it's just over the head of his attackers. Headed by Angulo onto the foot of Bolja Basic. And it rolls over the touchline.
Now in for your CSI Dolphins, number 9, Samuel Gonzaga.
Samuel Gonzaga
number 10,
will come back
Shane
out
Siegel.
onto the pitch along with Shane Siegel. Bryant Navarro and Brendan McGuire off. So the Dolphins making some changes heading into the final 15. 14:24 remaining in the second half as Karalu finds Angulo, and now Karalu has it once again. And they're going to say that it is a Dolphins throw just in front of the Firebirds bench. Karalu for Gonzalez. Gonzalez for Mashcut. And Mashcut was standing out of play. Dolphins fighting for it along the far sideline. That was Siegel converging with Giroux. Giroux got the worst of that collision. He earns the throw-in for UDC with 13 minutes to play. Bolja Basic for Angulo to Karalu. Karalu makes one marker miss and gives it up to Siegel. Siegel for Angulo, redirected to Karalu and sent up in the air by UDC. Whistle blows, and another Dolphins free kick from this area of the field, right on the edge of the attacking third, and Sawchek takes it and sends it right back to Bolja Basic. Ball with the keeper, Abadia, as we hit 12 minutes to go. Sends it back beyond midfield. And now the Firebirds have it deep in the attacking third, but Gomes was surrounded by Dolphins. Kiyotsukolu will give it a shot now. He sends one in toward the middle of the box. A good ball. Had a man there waiting, but once again, swarmed by Dolphins. And now Siegel moving across midfield. Gives it up to Majcut. Majcut sees that one deflected over the touchline. Dolphins will throw. Firebirds send it out toward midfield again, making the Dolphins earn any time spent in the attacking third. And now the Firebirds with a chance to go up a pair, but it's high off the foot of Kenneth Elvire, and a great opportunity goes by the wayside for UDC, and their bench knows they missed one there, as they had a chance to put the Dolphins behind by a pair and into a 2-goal hole that would be extremely difficult to climb out of here in the final minutes.
Now introducing number 4, Eusebio Marcel.
Here comes Majcut out across midfield. That ball for Branco is knocked away by the Firebirds, but now Angulo is moving in. His shot is saved. Abadia is there to pull it down inside of 10 minutes to play. Ball in the back with the Firebirds headed to goal once again. Abadia will take his time. 9:30 to play.
Dennis Cotticelli.
And now Branco chasing it down. Cotticelli was looking for Angulo. And now Leandro Angulo sends one across midfield. Gonzaga waiting. He heads it for Daniel Angulo. Chipped back to Gonzaga. Gonzaga looking to move forward, working against Macedo, and it was sent over the touchline by the back line of UDC, as Gomes once again looking to move forward on the attack, and he lost his footing for a moment. Now it's sent up ahead a long way by Macedo, and Cotticelli takes it away. Cotticelli with a dangerous pass, nearly intercepted. Branco tries to keep it in. He did, as Cotticelli is met by Macedo, who dispossesses Cotticelli. This is Carolou, who had it on his foot first after it came down, and he keeps it. Here comes Bryan into the attacking third. He goes down. Advantage was given to the Dolphins. They continue play. Branco gives it up after a missed sliding tackle, and the Dolphins bench cannot believe it. Branco had nothing but green grass in front of him, or green turf, to put it more appropriately. And Branco made a mistake there. He did not expect a failed tackle attempt. And the Dolphins are turned aside as the ball is back with the keeper, Abadia. Gonzaga staring him down from close range, and Abadia paying him no mind. 7:30 to play in half number 2. Score 1-0. Angulo is trying to take it away from Meza Baez. Now Gomes with another chance, and Gomes launches one well out of play. Not the first time we've seen a soccer ball end up back there today. Michel Egbame checking back in.
Number 9, Ignacio Periset, and number 11.
He replaces
Mikel
Kenneth
Egbame.
Elvire. Ignacio Periset checks back in as well. He replaces Liam Thompson. Goal kick by Sissoko. Out across midfield, headed by Angulo. Siegel giving chase. And chipping it up in the air was Nicolotti. Dolphins come away with it as it stayed in play. Angulo for Keralou. Keralou moving toward the middle of the pitch and gives it back to Angulo. Angulo looking to send play toward the near sideline. This is Leandro Angulo in the middle of the pitch for Codicelli. Codicelli working in the shade. Finds Angulo, and Majcut not ready for that ball from Angulo. .5:55 to go in this match as Jamali Peterson sprints back onto the pitch. Patrick Majcut off.
Jamali Peterson.
This is Keralou. Keralou toward Peterson. And once again, Abadia waiting for it. Peterson just a step or two late getting to that ball. 5:35 on the clock. Abadia sends one toward the back line for Sawchek. This is Keralou. Now Sawchek again. Sawchek for Bolja Basic. Angulo being pressured by Gomes, and he is pressured into what was nearly a mistake, but Codicelli cleans it up. Here's Gonzaga. Gonzaga keeps possession. Gonzaga goes down. No whistle. Play continues. Bolja Basic for Branco. And sent away by Begay. Now, Sawchek giving chase. Periset right there with him. Periset for Egbame. Saved by Sissoko and cleared. Bugari Sissoko keeps the Dolphins alive in the final 4.5 minutes with a huge save of Michel Egbame. Here's Gomes for Egbame. Egbame coming in again. Sissoko gets there first and dives on top of it right at the edge of the box. The Dolphins keeper with two huge plays. Here comes Angulo. Angulo moving up the near sideline. Sends it into the box. Peterson giving chase. And that ball is too long for Jamali. As grabbing it out of the air was Abadia. Whistle blows. Clock stops. And we have an injury in the box at the other end of the pitch. That's Egbame who is down. And what a last few minutes this has been. The Firebirds have come so very close to making this a 2-goal game, but Bugari Sissoko has been up to the task of keeping his team behind by just one. 3:59 remaining in this match, and it has been a good one between the Dolphins and the Firebirds. While we have a break in the action, we'll take a look at some of the stats up until this point. Shots on goal, 5-4 in favor of Staten Island. Fouls, 9-8, with the Dolphins committing 9 and the Firebirds committing 8. 3 yellow cards issued against Staten Island, a pair against UDC. Corners favor the Firebirds, 8-5. For Sissoko, those last 2 saves make up 2/3 of his save total in the game. Though actually that second sequence did not result in a save. He got to the ball first. The shot wasn't attempted, but still a huge play nonetheless. 5 saves in goal for Javier Abadia. The action resumes as the clock winds down towards 3:30. A greater portion of Dolphins Soccer Park being engulfed by the shadows as we head into the late afternoon hours, heading toward evening. 5:27 our time here at the College of Staten Island. As the Firebirds move forward, perhaps another chance. Bulja Basic gets there and redirects it to his keeper. And the UDC bench can't believe it, as it appeared as if the Dolphins may have committed a handball violation in the box. Bulja Basic got there and was able to redirect it to Sissoko. Corner kick for CSI. Undoubtedly the biggest corner kick of this match. Angulo to take it. His corner kick toward the near post, punched away by Abadia. It winds up back along the far sideline. Angulo throws it in. Angulo toward Branco. Branco got a foot on it. He's chasing it. And he, with the shove of his marker, is able to earn CSI another corner. Branco was being challenged by Macedo. Macedo was over the ball and Branco just pushed him. But the Dolphins earn another corner, and once again, Abadia is there. Snags it out of the air. 1:45 on the clock. That one punted beyond midfield, headed by Leandro Angulo. Gonzaga fighting for possession. No whistle, and here comes Samuel Gonzaga. Gonzaga for Branco, and that will be Dolphins throw-in. The Dolphins bench urging the players out on the pitch into the attacking third following that throw-in. This is Karalu for Siegel. Siegel sends one into the box, headed by Angulo, just wide.
Last minute of play in regulation.
Goal kick for the Firebirds inside of 1 minute remaining, as Daniel Angulo got ahead on it and sent it just wide. Not a lot on that header, but if there was a Dolphin breaking into the box, they certainly would have had a chance to make a play. Whistle blows, foul called, free kick Staten Island. The clock is stopped. CSI supporters wanting a yellow card. Sissoko to take the free kick. When the clock starts again, there will be 27 seconds to go. Long free kick into the box. Here comes Siegel, and it's just too long for him. And that will likely do it as the clock is stopped at 12:8. And that one sent toward the far sideline. Karalu is there, and it's over the touchline, and that should do it as UDC comes into Dolphin Soccer Park and leaves with their third East Coast Conference victory of the season. A 1-0 victory over the College of Staten Island, and what a show these two teams put on here this afternoon in what was a very entertaining NCAA Division II soccer doubleheader, opened up by women's soccer. CSI defeating Lincoln University 2-0. And here in the back half of today's doubleheader, District of Columbia comes in to Dolphin Soccer Park and picks up a 1-0 win over the College of Staten Island. For the Dolphins, the defeat will drop them to 1-6 on the season. For UDC, the win brings their record to 4-4. For the Firebirds, it is their 4th consecutive victory of the season, and this was a big one, as every conference matchup is. And for UDC, they stay perfect in their last 4 games, perfect in conference play. For the Dolphins, it is now back-to-back defeats as they fall short for the 6th time this year. Taking a look at the scoring plays from this match, only one to speak of, and it came off the foot of Imran Achayi. He scores the goal, his first of the season, assisted by a pair of Firebirds, Michel Egbame, and we have a very animated conversation going on at midfield between the official and Dolphins associate head coach, Alex Cuba. And we do have that on screen for you. Trying to listen in, and associate head coach Cuba is not happy. John Tardy trying to steer him away from the conversation, and he does just that. So, second assist, as I was saying, on that goal for UDC belonged to Vitor Gomes. As I said before, Michel Egbame also with an assist on the goal. Goal scored by Imran Achayi. So with that, we will wrap up today's soccer doubleheader on the ECC Network. Our final score in today's second match, the University of the District of Columbia 2 and the College of Staten Island 1. Our next broadcast will be this coming Saturday, a men's and women's soccer doubleheader. First up, the women take on Roberts Wesleyan, followed by the men approximately 30 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1. Until then, this has been Joe Foreman, and for all of us here at the College of Staten Island, thank you for watching. Once again, if you can't attend the game this Saturday, be sure to join us here on the ECC Network for that broadcast, and enjoy the rest of your week.